In this video, I want to show you how to include references, bibliography in your rmarkdown document. It's actually pretty straightforward. Everything that you need is a file with the bibliography. The file should be in the so-called bibtex format. It's a simple text format, so you can edit it in any text editor. You can create it manually, as I will show it here, but know that you can also create it by exporting your bibliography from your standard reference manager like Zotero or Mendeley. I will start by sharing my screen as always. And first thing is we need to get the bibliography file. So I'm going to Google Scholar. This is easiest with Google Scholar, and look for one of my papers. And when you see the papers in Google Scholar, you have this link called Cite. You can click on that. You have then citations in certain formats, but you want this here, bibtex. You click on this link and you get a little text that you can copy and paste in your bibliography file. Bibliography file, how do we create this in our studio? You simply go to File, New File, and then Text File. And we copy our bibliography and save it under, in my case, I would choose the name references.bib. This extension BIB, it doesn't mean much. It can be, you can use whichever extension you want, but it's standard for the bibtex files. But it's still just a text file that you can edit with Notepad or whatever. The important thing to see is this here, this tag here, this identifier. This identifies for rmarkdown the paper. So now we go to an example document created by RStudio for us, and we want to include the bibliography. We write here in the header here, in this first part of the rmarkdown document, we write here another keyword called bibliography. And here we give the name of the file that we have created, references.bib. Okay, so far so good. Now we have to include somehow the bibliography in our text. So for example, we are writing a text on gene set enrichments and want to cite the Jua paper from 2019. We put square brackets, the @ sign, just like in your email, and then Zilla 21019, and what was the whole ID? Gene. Okay, let's compile the document and see how it looks like. Sorry, I need to choose the HTML to get the preview. And here you see the reference has been included. At the end, we have the reference attached to the end of the document. We can create a separate section just here at the very end called bibliography. And when we knit that again, we'll see it with a nice section title. So far, so good. There are certain other options to include the bibliography. For example, we can say the paper by, and here directly without the square brackets, Gila 2019 gene, this describes several gene set enrichment algorithms. Gila et al, and here we put a minus in front of the Zilla 2019 gene, showed that, blah, blah, blah. And when we compiled it now, this minus here means show only the year. So when we knit that, we'll get the following results. Here, no, the reference is not in parentheses. Here, the reference is simply the year. So if we remove that in year in that paper, okay, knit that, and we see in that paper 2019. Okay, so far so good, but we would like sometimes to have the references in different formats. For example, we are submitting to Nature. The Nature citations look differently. What do? There is something called the citation style language. And actually, Zotero, Mendeley, and other reference managers are using this language. The language specifies the references in a special file called the CSL file. It's again a text file that you could actually edit, view and edit. But we can directly download it from a citation style repository. So there is one repository called Zotero style repository, zotero.org. So Zotero style repository. If you go there, click on that, you have a list of scientific papers that you can search through. For example, we can search for Nature. And here we have the link to the CSL file of Nature. I click on that and save it. I already saved it before, but let's overwrite it. And then go back to RStudio. In RStudio, in the header, we are specifying the CSL file by using the CSL keyword, CSL nature.csl. When I need it now, you will get the references, the citations in the Nature style, so as an exponent. And that's basically it. There are many additional things that you can do with bibliography, how you can fine-tune that, but this will get you already going.